Football has given us icons, dynasties, and moments that feel bigger than sport itself. But when you rank true greatness by peak, longevity, trophies, influence, and sheer fear factor, the debate gets ruthless fast. 10 legends make the cut. Only one gets the top spot. At number 10 is Paolo Maldini, the highest pure defender on this list. That alone says a lot because these rankings usually belong to scorers and creators. But Maldini built his case on something even harder to sustain: elegance under pressure, perfect positioning, and world-class defending across multiple eras. 5 European titles with Milan, more than 100 Champions League matches, 902 games for the club, and 126 for Italy give him a resume built on extreme longevity. He was never about noise. He was about control. That is why he beats many flashier names, even if the players above him changed games more directly. Still, the next player could own the biggest match in the world with just a few touches. At number 9 is Zinedine Zidane. His peak was not as long as some names above him, but when Zidane hit top form, football seemed to slow down around him. He did not just control games. He bent them to his rhythm, often on the very biggest nights. The 1998 Ballon d'Or, the World Cup win with 2 goals in the final against Brazil, and a career packed with huge moments make his case obvious. He ranks above Maldini because his decisive impact in iconic matches was more explosive. But the next name had a peak that felt even more terrifying. But now the debate shifts from elegance to destruction. At number 8 is Ronaldo Nazario, maybe the most devastating center-forward peak football has ever seen. Defenders were not just beaten by him. They were overwhelmed by the speed, the balance, the feints, and the sheer violence of his movement with the ball. 2 Ballon d'Or awards, 2 World Cup titles, the Golden Boot at the 2002 World Cup, and 15 World Cup goals tell the story. He is not higher because injuries stole part of his career. Without them, this ranking becomes a completely different argument. That is how frightening his level really was. Yet the next legend was not built on a short explosion. He helped build an empire. At number 7 is Alfredo Di Stefano, the engine of the first great European empire. Long before modern tactical language became common, he was already playing like a complete footballer, dropping deep, arriving late, scoring, creating, and directing the whole game. 5 straight European Cups with Real Madrid, 308 goals in 396 official games, goals in every final of that run, and 2 Ballon d'Or awards make him impossible to ignore. He ranks above Ronaldo Nazario because he combined elite output with dynasty-building control over an entire era. And then comes a player who changed not just results, but an entire position. At number 6 is Franz Beckenbauer. Great defenders protect games. Beckenbauer organized them. He turned the libero into a weapon, stepping out from the back with elegance and authority, and using calm as a form of domination over the entire match. As captain, he led West Germany to the 1974 World Cup and the European Championship, while Bayern won 3 straight European Cups. Add 2 Ballon d'Or awards, and his case goes far beyond defending. He made control look beautiful. But the top 5 reshape football at an even deeper level. Because the next player was not just a star. He became a football philosophy. At number 5 is Johan Cruyff, and this is where greatness starts to reshape the sport itself. He was brilliant on the ball, but his real power was making everyone around him smarter, faster, and more dangerous. Few players have influenced both football actions and football ideas so deeply. 3 Ballon d'Or awards only hint at the full impact. Cruyff became the face of total football, and one of the clearest examples of a player whose ideas outlived his playing days. He ranks above Beckenbauer because his legacy reaches beyond trophies into the way football is still understood. Still, the next name made greatness look measurable, season after season. At number 4 is Cristiano Ronaldo, football's ultimate production machine. Very few players in history combined obsession, adaptation, and big game destruction the way he did across multiple leagues and different versions of himself. He kept changing, and the output never stopped. 5 Ballon d'Or awards, 5 Champions League titles, the all-time goals record in the competition, and the scoring record in men's international football create a resume that almost breaks comparison. He ranks above Cruyff because the raw production is absurd. But the top three carry an even heavier myth. From here, numbers stop telling the whole story. The next legend lives in feeling as much as in silverware. At number 3 is Diego Maradona, maybe the purest example of one player dragging football into theater. At his best, he did not just create chances or score goals. He changed the emotional temperature of the entire stadium every time he touched the ball. The 1986 World Cup remains one of the greatest individual tournament runs ever, with the title, the goal of the century, and the feeling that one man could carry a nation. Add what he did for Napoli, and you get a legacy built more on magic than volume. Only 2 names stand above that. And now we move from magic to mythology. At number 2 is Pelé, the easiest number 1 choice if you prioritize pure historical stature. He is still the only player ever to win 3 World Cups, and that alone gives him a place in football mythology that may never be repeated. 77 goals in 92 games for Brazil, plus the fact that he was already the face of a world title at 17, make his legend feel unreal even now. He ranks above Maradona because the trophy count and historical footprint are even bigger. But one player still offers the most complete case of all, because the final spot is not only about fame or trophies, it is about completeness. At number 1 is Lionel Messi, because no one else blends genius, production, longevity, and total football control quite like he does. He could be the best scorer on the pitch, the best creator, and the smartest tempo setter all in the same game, sometimes in the same move. 8 Ballon d'Or awards, a World Cup title, the record for World Cup appearances, 4 Champions League titles, and 10 league titles in Spain with Barcelona give him the broadest elite resume ever assembled. What pushes him above Pelé is not just silverware. It is the fact that both his peak and his longevity belong in the very highest tier. For years, he was not simply winning matches, he was solving them. 10 names, 10 different paths to immortality. Some ruled through trophies, some through peak, some through ideas, and some through raw force of genius. But when the full picture matters, this is the order that stands. If you enjoyed this ranking, drop a like, subscribe for more football tops, and tell me in the comments which name should be higher, lower, or missing from the list.